Hi everybody and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
So Nikki, how often do you write anything by hand?
Almost every day.
Really?
Yes, because I have to go to school, I have to take notes, and I also keep a diary.
Okay, so you enjoy the writing in a diary?
Yes, because I get to use different colors and like crayons and different kind of pens.
That's cool, but who will ever see it?
Myself, me.
Okay, so it's sort of for you. Yeah, I also do a lot of writing in my free time. I'd like to do it every day. I don't always have time. I write stories, and since I don't have a lot of time and I can't always use a computer, I like to handwrite. I often actually think handwriting gets my ideas onto the paper more quickly.
Really?
If I'm typing, you've got a computer with the internet and other things. You type a letter wrong and then it annoys you. When I'm handwriting, I feel like I can just keep going. And then later I will type up and try and read what on earth did I write. You might not be able to see this, especially not up close. My handwriting is not exactly neat. It's a bit of a mess. Can you... So Nikki can't really read much of what I have written. And that's interesting because your handwriting apparently says a little bit about you and what kind of person you are.
Your personality.
We're going to look at that in today's article and we'll find out what my awful handwriting says about me. Let's check it out.
Reading.
More than just ink on paper. Your handwriting speaks. Do you dot your I's and cross your T's? Are your letters round or sharp? The U.S.'s National Pen Company says that the way you write shows a lot about your personality. Copy the following sentence in your natural handwriting and see what it reveals about you. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Are your letters big or small? To some experts, big writing suggests that you like attention. Small letters suggest you are shy or like to study a lot. The shape of your letters is significant too. On the one hand, round and curly letters are often used by creative people. On the other hand, pointed letters are favored by people with curious or intense personalities. Do you join your letters neatly? You're likely a careful thinker. We can learn a lot about a person from their handwriting. It's even been used as evidence in court cases. Remember this the next time you pick up a pen. You'll likely be saying more about yourself than you think.
So today's article begins by saying, do you dot your I's and cross your T's? Now, this idiom relates to the way certain letters are written. And I can do a bit of a demo here because the letter I has a dot over it. Difficult to see again, but it's there. And the letter T has a stroke through the middle of it, a cross. Okay? But the idiom dot your I's and cross your T's also means to do something in a very correct way. You pay attention to all the details. You get everything right. So if you're making a contract, we would want to dot every I and cross every T because that means you would be making sure everything is done, all the details are right, and nothing is left out.
今天的文章一开头就问说 Do you dot your I's and cross your T's? 字面上的意思是在问说你在写字的时候写的时候会不会这边点 I 的时候会不会点那一点那写 T 的时候会不会把最后那一横给写上去那这个片语本身的意思是说做事情不马虎或是不随便那在这边是双关问大家写字的风格还有个性
So another question related to writing in our article asks, are your letters round or sharp? And we'll show you some of that later.
But why are these things important? Well, we see in the article that the U.S.'s National Pen Company says that the way you write shows a lot about your personality.
Okay, so we've now got an instruction in our magazine as well as a bit of space with it. It says, copy the following sentence in your natural handwriting and see what it reveals about you. But before we see the sentence, let's look at the word natural. Now, in this sentence, it means the way you do something when you're not thinking about it, you're not trying to write in a particular way. It could be we say, write like no one is watching or reading it, or we'll make comments about it, because then you'll do it just the way you would normally do, without thinking. Here's another example. I am not speaking in a natural way. This is not my natural voice.
What?
That's right. I change the way I speak when I teach, slowing down, pronouncing words more clearly, and not using my native accent so much. If I used my natural voice, it might be harder to understand. So, your natural writing is just your normal writing. You're not trying to be neat, you're not trying to be clever. Here's another example sentence. Pat has lots of natural good looks and charm.
Natural 是形容词，在这边指的是自然的，不做作的。所以课文这里只是要你照原本的样子去写字，原本的写字的样子去写这个句子，没有刻意的去改变或者是想太多。那 Pat 老师刚刚举了一个例子，说他现在在讲话的方式并不是他的 natural way。为了要让大家听得更清楚，所以他就必须要讲得比较慢，还有强调发音的清楚。那 natural 还有另一个意思是天然的、非人为的。For example, typhoons and earthquakes are natural disasters.
That's right. And we also saw the word handwriting in that sentence. This is simply the name we give to words written by a person with a pen or pencil, not on a computer. Written by hand, in other words.
Handwriting 指的是书写或是你的笔记、字迹。So what sentence should we write?
Well, the article gives it you can read it in our magazine. It is, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that every letter in the English alphabet is in this sentence.
So you've written the sentence in the space in our article. What next?
Well, the article asks, are your letters big or small?
Here's why this is important. The article says, to some experts, big writing suggests that you like attention.
That's interesting. To suggest means to possibly show that something is true or possible. It's not 100% proof, but it is a good indication. For example, if you come to work or school on a Monday and your skin is a little darker than before, this suggests you've been out in the sun. There could be other reasons, of course, but this is a likely one. And here's another example. The expression on Niall's face suggests that he's in a bad mood.
在写完这个句子之后，课文就告诉我们，如果你的字写出来是很大的，那意味着你喜欢引人注意。Suggest 在这里指的是意味着间接暗示某件事情。如果你今天出现突然变得比较黑，那可能意味着你最近有去晒太阳。Suggest 还有另一个意思是提议、建议 to mention an idea or a plan. For example, I suggest that we do karaoke on my birthday. So what if your letters are small?
That's right. If you've got nice big letters, you're kind of saying, look at me, check out my writing. But as the article says, small letters suggest you are shy or like to study a lot.
And next, the article says, the shape of your letters is significant too.
If something is significant, it's important. It carries a lot of meaning. For example, your history teacher might tell you the significant facts about an event in history. These are the ones you should remember, especially for a test. If some details are not significant, or we can say insignificant, then they're not important. Here's an example sentence. The police found some evidence at the scene of the crime that they believe is significant.
接着课文说，写出来的字如果是小的话，那可能意味着你比较害羞，或是你喜欢念书。那同时字体的形状也很重要。Significant 是形容词重要的意思，其实就是和 important 是可以互换的字。那它的名词会变成 significance 重要性，或者是 special meaning 特别的意义。例句说，警察在案发现场发现一些他们认为是很重要的证据。So let's talk about letter shape.
Right. The article says, on the one hand, round and curly letters are often used by creative people. So there we just saw the phrase on the one hand, and this phrase is used to show one possibility. And it's generally followed in the next sentence by saying on the other hand, and we will see this in our article. Now we can use this grammar pattern on the one hand, on the other hand to compare two things or to look at the advantages and disadvantages of one thing. For example, you could say, on the one hand, this hotel is quite cheap. On the other hand, it's a long way from the airport. And here's another way we can use it. So, you want to go to the beach or to the movies? Well, on the one hand, the weather is perfect for a trip to the beach. On the other hand, there's a movie I've been dying to see.
On the one hand 是一方面来说是怎样怎样，那通常后面会接 on the other hand， 另一方面来说又是怎样怎样。那我们会用这样的句型来比较两件事情，像是一方面来说，你觉得这个旅馆很便宜，可是另一方面来说呢，它却离机场很远。所以这边课文就是说，一方面来说比较圆或者是比较卷曲的字体，算是比较有创意的人会使用的。
Okay, so we just explained that curly letters are often used by creative people. So I'll try and do a few curly letters here. I imagine maybe an A would look a bit like this, with kind of a tail to it, that's sort of round and curly. Maybe an F would be like this, with the sort of tail going round into it's kind of like an F. Whereas a straight, I'm not good at curly or handwriting, but...
So you're not creative.
I am, but I'm just not very neat. Anyway, curly is arranged in round curls or circles and curves, not in straight lines.
Curly 指的是弯弯的、卷曲的，不是直线的。像是卷发，我们就会说 curly hair. So this is on the one hand.
And as we said, we often follow this with on the other hand to introduce a comparison or an opposite idea. And our article does this too, saying, on the other hand, pointed letters are favoured by people with curious or intense personalities. So let's see if I can do some kind of pointed letters. Maybe a T would be 1, 2, and like that. Or an H, that maybe... maybe an H. Yeah, that one's a bit curlier. That one would be super straight. A T is probably a good example of a fairly straight, pointed one like that. I think sometimes it's about the tall letters that go up, L's and stuff like that go above the line. But pointed letters would have sharp ones. They'd have straight lines, not so many round curls.
And we say these are favored by a different kind of person.
That's right. If you favor something, you prefer this thing, or you like this thing more than another thing. It's your favorite. And you can see how the verb favor and the noun or adjective favorite are related. Here's an example sentence. John favors going to the beach while Aaron wants to go to the movies.
这边课文就接续说了 on the other hand， 另一方面来说呢，有好奇心或者是情绪比较强烈的人，他们的字体会是比较尖锐。favor 是动词，意思是比较喜欢或是赞同，像是我们在投票的时候常常会听到 all those in favor say aye。 就是同意的人呢就要说好。那 favor 当名词使用的时候还有帮助的意思， do someone a favor. For example, Pat, can you do me a favor to walk my dog on the weekend?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, so if you use pointed letters, you might be a curious person.
That is correct. A curious person wants to know more about the world. A curious person is always asking questions, reading things, trying to find out more, trying to learn the real reasons why things are the way they are. Children are usually very curious because there's a lot they don't know about the world. And here's another example. The curious students wanted to know about their teacher's new hairstyle.
Curious 是形容词，好奇的，想知道的意思。那它的名词是 curiosity， 好奇心。On the other hand, people who use pointed letters might be intense.
Yeah, this is an interesting word to describe a person. If you're an intense person, you're often very serious, very honest, and have strong opinions and feelings about things. Intense people don't really like losing. They don't like not understanding something, and they especially don't like it when other people don't tell the truth.
Intense 是形容词，指的是强烈的 extreme 或是紧张的，但是在这边是形容人，表示说一个情感很强烈的人。But there are other kinds of handwriting as well.
Right, we talked about round letters and pointed letters, and the article asks another question, do you join your letters neatly? Now, many students learn to join up their letters at school.
Did you?
I did, but it made my writing even harder to read. Let's see if I can write a joined up word. I can't remember how to join a P. So that is joined up writing. Can you read what I've written?
Elephant.
Yeah, that says elephant. So yes, I can just about join up letters, but I kind of stopped doing it. Mostly I print when I write in my own writing. I do letters that aren't joined up. Maybe I join a few. E, because it's quite easy to join up.
那 join 这边的意思是连接，课文说写字的时候将字母跟字母整齐的连在一起，笔画不会断掉。But what does it mean if you can't join your letters neatly?
Well, the article says you're likely a careful thinker.
The next paragraph starts by saying we can learn a lot about a person from their handwriting.
Okay, and we also see that it's even been used as evidence in court cases, which is quite interesting. Evidence is a word that means facts that show something could be true or possible. It doesn't show it to be 100% true or possible. If it's like that, we would call it proof, not evidence. Evidence can be proof if it's strong enough. The police need to find evidence that can be used as proof that someone committed a crime.
接着课文说，如果你写字是连在一起的，那你很有可能是一个会三思而后行或是深思熟虑的人。那甚至一个人的笔迹可以被当成法庭上的证据。Evidence 是名词，证据、证明，就是你要告上法院一定要有的东西。那它的形容词 evident 意思是明白的、明显的。No wonder it's important in court cases.
Exactly. A court is an official building where trials can take place. The word court can mean the whole building or just the room in which one case is being tried. Inside a court, there'll be a judge, some lawyers, the people involved in the trial or case, and in many countries, a jury of ordinary people who decide whether someone is guilty or not. So when we say, I'll see you in court, it means there's going to be a trial or case to see who's wrong and who's right. Here's another example and another time when we might go to court. I have to go to court tomorrow because I witnessed a crime.
Court 是法庭、法院，可以指的是一整栋建筑，那也可以指的是就是那一间开庭的房间。那通常在 court 里面会有法官 judge、律师 lawyer 或是检察官 prosecutor。那在英国和美国会有陪审团 jury， 但是在台湾没有。例句说，我明天必须去一趟法院，因为我目击了一桩犯罪。
So the way you write is important, or to use a word from earlier, significant. That's why the article says, remember this the next time you pick up a pen. To pick up means to lift up from a surface, either to transport it or to use it for something.
所以课文说，下一次当你拿起笔的时候，要记得上述说的这些特征。Pick up 在这里指的是拿起、拾起。Pick up the phone 接起电话，或者是 pick up someone at the airport 去机场接某个人。
The article concludes by saying you'll likely be saying more about yourself than you think.
Yeah, so that's our article for today in our For You chat question. And Pat and I will be talking about our own handwriting style.
Right.
For You chat.
Okay, so the question is, what is your handwriting style and what do you think it reveals about you? So we have two examples here. If you've been paying attention, you'll guess which one is mine.
And which one is mine?
Exactly. Mine is the bottom one, and I've tried to write as naturally as I can. So we look at Nikki's. What do we think your handwriting says about you?
I think I have round.
Yeah, they're fairly round. I look at that W and it's kind of curvy. W and N are good because some people will do a more straight one and some people will do a more curved one.
I don't join them, but I do write them like neatly.
Yeah, do you have to join them in school in Taiwan? Do they
no.
teach you?
No.
So that's a difference. When I was growing up, we were all told, join up your handwriting. That's how it's done. These days, I don't even know if that's taught because most people will write important things on a computer anyway.
Yeah.
So handwriting is not such a big deal. Yeah, fairly small letters. Are you kind of shy?
Maybe I like to study.
Okay, maybe we'll go with that one. So what about my handwriting?
Yours, it's curly.
Yeah, probably is curlier than straight, I would say. So that's the creative one, isn't it?
Yes.
So we'll stick with that. It's also not very neat. So that maybe suggests that...
You're not a careful thinker.
Oh well, so much for that. Yeah, I'm not joining up my letters very well. I think what it really says about me is that I write fast. And most of what I handwrite is only for me to read, so it doesn't matter how neat or not it is. What about you guys? What do you think your handwriting reveals about you? Practice the sentence in our article. Have a go at it yourself and see what it reveals. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching. For English for You, I'm Pat.
I'm Nikki.
Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
More than just ink on paper. Your handwriting speaks. Do you dot your I's and cross your T's? Are your letters round or sharp? The U.S.'s National Pen Company says that the way you write shows a lot about your personality. Copy the following sentence in your natural handwriting and see what it reveals about you. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Are your letters big or small? To some experts, big writing suggests that you like attention. Small letters suggest you are shy or like to study a lot. The shape of your letters is significant too. On the one hand, round and curly letters are often used by creative people. On the other hand, pointed letters are favored by people with curious or intense personalities. Do you join your letters neatly? You're likely a careful thinker. We can learn a lot about a person from their handwriting. It's even been used as evidence in court cases. Remember this the next time you pick up a pen. You'll likely be saying more about yourself than you think.
Vocabulary Review.
Natural. Although Joe felt nervous during the job interview, he tried to look natural. Suggest. Some old tools were found in the forest, and they suggest that people lived here long ago. Significant. Giving out red envelopes is a significant Chinese New Year tradition. Favor. Most young people favor lowering the voting age to 18. Curious. I heard that a fisherman caught a shark, and I'm curious to know how he did it. Court. William's company won't pay him, so he's getting a lawyer to take the matter to court.
字汇小补帖
Handwriting. Curly. Intense. Evidence.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作。活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net